I'm Barb Prall, and today I want to show you how to put a mood in the picture. Here's one that I did that way, and here's another one. And you see you kind of get a gentle mood. Okay, the way I start is I take and I run a color, so this one happens to be blue, all the way down, start dark, and just keep adding water till I get all the way down, and I run out of color. Then on the same piece of paper, I take another color, which happens to be pink, and I run it down till I run out of color. Put the color on and just keep adding water till you get down. And the kind of paper makes a big difference. This paper was a little harder to do it on. And then I do a third color. So this one I had the pink, and I had the blue, and I added the yellow. And I did one picture to give you an idea. I wish I'd had more color in here, but it is what it is. So I'm going to show you how to paint a mood on this piece of paper and how to do a simple foliage. On this one, I put the foliage in before I did the branches, and I may do that again today, but it's much better if you put light branches in, very light, so you can barely see them, and then go back and fix them afterwards. So we'll see how it goes. Let me see. Well, I guess I'm going to have, which way do we want to go up? I guess we'll have a pink sky. And I like to go from warm to cool a lot. And I always mix my watercolors with water. First thing I do, I have a Kleenex ready for blotting if I need to. Can you fix that picture so I can see it? You just drop it on the floor. Okay, so I have sort of a sky, but I'm going to have a pink sky. So I want distant trees in here, and I don't want them very dark, so I'm going to make a water line across. Water always lays straight, and I'm going to put trees in. Very lightly. I don't know, I'm just taking colors. I'm not even thinking what I'm doing. I'm just putting color down. Because we all work too hard at our paintings. We got pink there, that's all right. I'm keeping it pretty straight. I can go back and add more color to that, and I'm going to put water underneath here. Probably most of the way down. Turn the picture upside down. Do the same thing again, so I got trees in the water. Keep going across. Trying to find colors that I already have on my palette. That was the wrong color for that, but it won't matter. Nobody's going to know it. Okay, now, I'm back to here. I'm going to drag this down so it looks like reflection. I'm going to take my brush and go across, lay it down. And then if I want to now, I can take the end of my brush, nice and clean, straight across, and lift out a shoreline. Do it again to get more shoreline out. I washed the brush off, I wiped it with a rag, and see there's the shoreline. If I want the trees darker, I can do that. I can do that while I'm painting. Or when I'm all done, I can go back in and do things into there if I want to, and I come down and do it below. I'm not going to go all the way across because I don't want to take too much time. But, hand me one of those. I have a student, I'm going to go, the reason I did this kind of thing, I have a student who paints a branch and paints a branch and paints a branch, and then he goes out the branch like this for leaves. Well, I'm trying to get him to look like it's a mass of trees instead of every little leaf being on each side of the branch. So I'm going to do that over here. And see my paints. Water down my paint's way down. You can even just use water so I know where my branches might be. I don't know what color I have. And put some branches in just so I have an idea where they are. But with watercolors, you don't want to make them dark because you can't go back and get rid of the branch. And you want to, okay, well, pretend like that's good. I'm going to take the fan brush, dip it in some paint. I'm not worrying about the bright colors today, and I just kind of go in here and keep that branch tipped in all different directions to get some solidness to the base of the tree. And I basically do it in oils the same way. I teasingly say, this is not green, I teasingly say that every year I go out to paint, because I paint on location a lot. I go out to paint and I think, oh, I'm learning how to do foliage, because I change it all the time. And see, we're starting to get the feel of a tree. I can come down further if I want. I'm going to go just a little further. And then I come back, got the wrong color again, that's all right. Never worry about color, it's the value that counts. How dark and how light things are. It's starting to look a little bit like foliage. Then I get a small round pointed brush, and I almost don't even have to add any more paint to it, because I can just go in here and just kind of pull it out and make it look like leaves. See how it just kind of pulls out and looks a little like leaves? I can take some yellow and add my lights coming from the left, so I must have my, the first thing you always do, and I didn't do that, is think where my light's coming from to get, because you got to have your darks and your lights. And I can go back in. See, it's a little dark, but that's all right. Never worry, you got to have a happy heart when you're painting. You let the feeling in your heart go down your arm and out your fingers. See, it's starting to look like a tree without any trunk or any branches. Give it a little bit of a trunk now. So if the light's coming from that way, the left side of my trunk will be my light color. I don't know, and I can go back in. Won't take time now and put little branches in some places. You don't want a solid branch. And I'm going to take a big color, wet the bottom. Don't want it straight across. And I'll put green in there. Look at it, all, the yellow already gives it a highlight. And the green is not a solid color, so I can take some ochre and put in there, or just different colors. I'm going to put that tree into the water, into the ground. And so my shadow would be this way. And my light would be over here. And I realize I'm very wet, and I like runny colors, and I like things not to look perfect. So if I want to be crazy, which I usually am, I can make grass this way with a liner brush. I can make some tall grass here, or I can make some really tall grass. Oh, that's really bright. I don't know if I want it that bright. But guess what? If I don't like it, all I have to do, don't mind it, but all I have to do is wet it, because the paper's still wet, and just kind of play a bit. I'm going to get my fan brush out and show you how to make these into flowers. If I don't like what I did there, there's too much water on the brush. Grab a Kleenex. Always have Kleenex in your hand. I can put some red on there. Whoa, that's really bright, but that's okay. some of the grass here if I wanted to. A little gaudy, but colors dry 20% lighter, and if I don't like the way it looks now, I just play with it a little bit and soften it a bit. Let's put a little yellow in that to kill it. A little bit bright. There, that's a little better. And anyway, that gives you an idea how you get a mood in a picture. And one more thing, I always put red into my green. It gives it life, a little bit more than I want, but it still won't hurt anything. I don't put that much in normally. If I don't like it, I can blot it and come back. Okay. Quit. Good enough. Sorry, Cal, didn't turn out better than that.
That's all right.